Transformers, robots in disguise. I'm gonna stop talking now. So I was watching The Fifth Element last night with some friends, and it inspired me to make this video about the 5 elements in pagan magic. There are 5 elements: earth, air, fire, water, and Akasha, which is also called spirit. These 5 elements make up the medicine wheel of magic and also kind of help and correspond with a bunch of other things that we deal with and a bunch of other things that we do in our spell work, in rituals and all kind of things. Air being the first element in the medicine wheel of magic, representing the east, and conception, like a seed of magic, a seed of an idea coming in through this wheel or this clock of magic. Fire being the second, which is in the south, which represents inspiration, that spark and that fire, that spark for the seed that really just like makes you want to just continue. Water, which represents west, which is the exploration into the idea, the wanting to just keep going and keep researching this idea, to keep like moving forward with this idea. And earth being in the north, which is the transformation, the creation of this idea through the entire medicine wheel of magic. It's the idea fully formed. I'm going to go into a little more detail about the elements themselves and what they represent on their own. I'm going to start off with air, which is in the east, because when you think about it, you want to start a spell, if you're doing a ritual or something, you want to face the east. You want to face the point at which everything kind of starts. It is the seed, it's the conception, it's where you begin. It's where you begin in order to just create something. So air represents the mind, the intellect. Anyone that might feel that air is their element, the element that actually is deep within them, where their power comes from, they have the ability to reason, the ability to know things. They also have the ability of astral projection and levitation. When you think about it, levitation is increasing the air and decreasing the earth. So air deals with things of the mind. You use your mind in order to gain knowledge, to know things, to understand things. And because you use your mind, the energy type for air is projective. You can project your mind out. You can astral project, you can levitate things, you can create movement, you can create things with the seed that starts to gestate and becomes inspired by fire. Fire is the next element that I'm going to talk about. It is in the south. It is where the inspiration comes from, the inspiration that starts to gestate and create that change from the seed. If you are someone that feels like fire is that element that you feel deep within you, that your power comes from, you're able to will things into existence. You're able to create change. You're also able to banish any negativity, which is also interesting because it's one of the things that I'm really good at. Keeping things away from me, keeping negativity far from me so that I can create the change that I feel that I need to create. And also apparently you're able to control objects. I don't really know about that yet, but it's possible. Maybe I've done it and I haven't even known it. And also when you think about it, fire is one of those elements that in nature, you're not able to actually control it. It's one of those things that doesn't conform to any rules or anything. It's a complete outsider. It does whatever it wants to do. If it wants to engulf something, it'll do it. You can't really control it. I mean, nowadays, yes, you can with a fire extinguisher, with firefighters, everything. But when you really think about it, when nothing is able to control it, when nothing is able to actually do anything about it, it does whatever it wants. It just engulfs everything. But with that destruction, it can also create change. If you guys notice, I have a tattoo right here, and this is a sign for fire, the upward triangle. I feel like my power comes from fire. I'm able to will things into existence. I'm able to create change. I'm hoping that I'm creating change with you guys. I'm helping you guys out a little bit. And also with my personality type, I am the type of person that doesn't conform to rules. I do whatever I want. I create change. I try not to create destruction because, you know, fire does create destruction, but I create change my own way. I do things my own way. And of course, the energy type for fire is projective. You're creating things, you're making movement, you're doing things, you're transforming with your projections, with the ability that you get from fire. So that brings us to our next element, which is water. Water is in the west, and it represents the heart, the emotions, the deep self. Everything that you think water is. Water is the language of the spirit, they say. It's what allows you to gather the information on a spirit level. Its energy is receptive, which means it takes in whatever it gets. So a lot of people that generally feel like their power comes from water, they're a little more emotional, they're a little more receptive. Their powers would be empathy. If they're an empath, they will feel everything that they get. It's really hard, I've heard, as an empath, because it's hard to keep that block. They can feel the hurt, they can feel the loss, they can feel the death in families, but they can also feel the happiness, they can feel all of this stuff, but it's hard for them to block that out. So one of the things as an empath would be being able to block other people's emotions from you so that you don't feel everything. I see a lot of people that are really, really emotional and they're just like everything's bringing them down and everything. It's possible that they could be an empath. They could be feeling these other feelings that people are having and they don't even know it. It's also said that if your power comes from water, it comes from the element of water, you have the power to dare, which I think may mean that if you're receiving all of the power from other people, you have the ability maybe to gain all of that power that you've received, all of that energy that you've received, and maybe find a way to project that onto someone else. There's some episodes of Charmed where Phoebe is an empath. At first she has a really hard time dealing with it because she doesn't know how to control it. She doesn't know how to control all of these people, like emotions in her head, until one day she realizes that with all of the power and pain that she's feeling and that she's gathering from other people, she is able to project that and harness it into an energy ball or something, into something that allows her to project it onto the world, use it as a defense mechanism. Let me know if you guys have like any instances or any ideas of what that means, but I'm pretty sure that's what it could mean. So the next element is earth, and that is up in the north. That represents the body. It makes us feel at home. Anyone that has earth as their power source would be someone that's very stable, someone that can harness the stability and create stability in other people's lives. You just want to be around them because they're so grounded and they're so well put out. They also have the ability to keep silent. This is kind of hard to like understand a little bit because for me, I'm one of those people that, or you know, for some people they just talk, or like, you know, someone's having an argument and you want to continue and continue on. With someone that has power source of earth, they will just stand there and receive whatever you're saying and just wait. Just wait for you to stop. That's something that's really hard to come across. Anyone that has earth as their power source is able to do this. They are just able to just let things go. Their energy type is receptive, so they are receiving these things, but they're not letting it get to them. They're so grounded, they're so okay with themselves, they're able to just let it go, not have to worry about it, and that's a really important skill to have. And now here's the last element, which is Akasha, which is the all spirit, the Mila Jovovich of the fifth element. You guys remember that moment where Mila Jovovich, or Lilu, I think that's her character's name, the orange-haired alien, she rises up and just projects all of that light and basically saves the universe or saves the world. This is that element. This is Akasha. This is the spirit. It is earth, air, fire, and water all in one. It's projective and receptive at once. It is spirit. It is everything. It is all of the unbeingness, the form that has not yet formed. It's the mother of all elements. It is all of the elements completely balanced. So if you're creating a pentagram or something, if you're creating a circle of energy or the medicine wheel of magic or anything like that, air would be in the east, fire would be in the south, water would be in the west, earth being the north, and Akasha being in the middle. It's the life and death and rebirth all in one. It's all of the elements harnessed. All of the elements would connect to the Akasha. But I'm not sure if anyone is actually this personality type. This would be a very special person that's able to harness all of the elements in one. It would be really interesting to meet someone like this in order to learn from them, in order to say, hey, holy crap, you're a complete balanced human being. How did this happen? Maybe someone that's not on our plane, someone that's maybe like a fifth dimensional being could be an Akashic personality type, but I'm not completely sure. That's a lot. That's like, holy crap, you're like the best person I've ever met in my entire life. Please be my best friend. But it's really interesting when you think about it, and it's something to really consider whether or not you guys have this sort of power within you. Which personality type are you? Which element do you feel you're harnessing all of your power from? Let me know in the comments below, and please subscribe. Thanks.